Okay.
So what is your name?
My name is Sarvagya.
Sarvak, so please tell you about yourself.
Basically, I am from Riva. I have completed my graduation from Riva. Then I have completed my post graduation in MCA in 2023. Then I am working as an intern in Pro Skill Hub from last 6 months.
Okay. What are your hobbies?
My hobbies are reading books and gardening, cooking, etc.
What are your weaknesses?
Yes, sorry.
What are your weaknesses?
Okay. My weakness is sometimes I take much time to do a task, but I can overcome it.
So what are the languages you have covered during full development certification?
I have covered HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React.Js as a front-end framework.
Why did you choose IT as a career?
I always loved to coding, and then I decided for post-graduation in MCA, and then I am working as an intern in Pro Skill. That's why I chose into IT.
Okay. What is React?
React is a front-end JavaScript library used for building user interfaces, and it is very popular nowadays, and that's why I chose IT. React.
Okay. What are the features of React?
Features. It has many features, like it is very fast. It is divided into components, and all the components work together to a complete application. And it has a virtual DOM. That's why it runs very fast. And the management of the code is also very easy. That's why these are the features of React.
What is JSX?
JSX is JavaScript syntax extension. It is written after the return keyword, and it is the form of writing JavaScript in React.
What is the difference between prop and state?
Props is an object through which we can pass the data from parent component to child component. And state is used to initialize the variable and set the variables in it. We can initialize it to 0, 1, true, false, whatever the requirement of our application.
What is API?
Mm. API is application programming interface. It is basically used for sending the request and receiving the response. This is the basic use of API.
What is prop drilling?
Pop drilling means sending so much data from parent component to child component. This is prop drilling. That's why the process doesn't run. This is prop drilling.
What is Redux?
Redux is an object or a container through which we can store our data. This is the use of Redux, and it is basically used for state management.
What is the difference between stateless and stateful components?
Class-based components are stateful components, and we don't have to write use state and use effect in it, and we don't have to use React hooks. And then stateless components are the functional components in which we have to use React hooks like use state and use effect.
What is the difference between proxy and ref?
Proxy is a web server through which whenever we make a server, we make a copy of the server. That is proxy server to which we can send the request and get the response. And ref is used to refer the ref is a keyword through which we can refer to an object.
What is use memo?
You use memo hook is a hook that is used for memoization. Basically, it is uses cache memory to update. Whenever we have to uh, take data fastly and use in our application, we use memo hook.
What are the limitations of React?
Uh, React has so much components, and sometimes it becomes hectic to work on different components and changing file structure like this.
Okay. What is callback function?
Callback function is an executable code that is used for request and response.
Hmm.
When we make callback function, we use request req.res as an argument in the function. And when we use it as a backend technology, we always make callback function in controller to send the data and to get the response.
What are higher order components?
Uh, Higher order of components are the components through which all the components depend upon it.
What is promises?
It is used to check that synchronous operation is completed or not. This is the basic use of promise.
What is hosting in JavaScript?
Hosting means sending the variable at the top, to host the variable at the top. If we have used a variable in between the code in between our application, it is automatically hosted at the top. This is hosting in JavaScript.
Okay. What is currying function?
It means it transform a major function into smaller units. For example, a function which has so many parameters, it is divided into a function through which it uses only one parameter using return keyword. Like we have made a function using a parameter, then return, then then the same name function, then parameter. In this way, it works.
What is the difference between multi-level and multiple inheritance?
These are the two forms of inheritance. Multi-level inheritance means in it a child object inherits the properties and behaviors of the parent object, and that parent object also becomes the child of another parent object of another parent object. In this way, it works in a sequential manner in a multi-level sequence. And in multi-level inheritance, there is only one parent, and all the childs are associated with it, and the children's that child objects inherits the behaviors and properties of the same single parent. This is multiple inheritance.
Okay, what is overloading and overriding polymorphism?
Overloading means if we have a same function name, then it in its parameter we use so many arguments. This is method overloading in polymorphism. And in method overriding, if we have used a single function name and last function name is override and other functions. This is method overriding in polymorphism.
What is hierarchical inheritance? Explain with example.
Hierarchical inheritance means it works in a hierarchy. If we have a like in our family, we have a grandchildren, grandparents, then parents, then the child. In this way, it also works in programming. In it, a children of children that inherits the behaviors and properties of its parent, and that parent also becomes the child of another parent. This is the hierarchical inheritance in programming languages.
What is abstraction and its example?
Abst- Abstraction is a way of hiding the internal details but showing only the functionality part. It is the abstraction. It means it basically used for hiding the codes.
What is exceptional handling?
To handle the exceptions, to handle the errors. Basically, it is used for try and catch block in JavaScript. By using try and catch block, we can handle the exceptions. If there is an error, then the catch block runs.
What is access specifiers?
There are mainly three access specifiers: private, protected, and public.
What are they? How we use it? What are their functions?
If we define a class with public keyword, then all its behaviors and properties variables are accessible by the succeeding classes. This is public class. Any private class, if we have made, if we have defined a class private, then its variables and functions are not accessible by the succeeding classes. This is private.
What are the features of hoops?
There are mainly five features of hoops, like objects and classes, inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, encapsulation.
What is the difference between
What's the difference between them?
object and class?
Okay. A class is a blueprint through which we make objects, and an object is an instance of the class. This is the basic difference between class and objects.
What is superclass?
Superclass, that is the class that is hosted at the top, and other classes inherit the properties from that superclass.
Data abstraction.
Data abstraction. It is basically used to hide the data, to abstract the data, showing only the functionality part and hiding the internal implementation. This is a data abstraction.
What is constructor?
Are you asking constructor?
Yep.
It is used to initialize the objects. Basically, this is the basic use of constructor.
What are destructors?
Sorry, I don't know this.
What is garbage collection?
The data which is not used is automatically hosted at a garbage collector. This is garbage collection.
Explain try and cache block.
Try and catch block is used in exception handling in JavaScript. If you have made a code if in try, then if it doesn't run, then catch automatically invokes and it runs. And catch block handles the error. This is try and catch block.
Why did you choose React as your front-end language?
React is very popular nowadays, and it has also made much demand in IT industry. That's why I choose React as a front-end framework.
So why do you want to switch the company?
I want to enhance my skills and want to get more knowledge from your company. That's why I want to switch the company.
What is the salary expectations at work?
My salary expectation is 6 lakhs per annum, but whatever the company expectations, we can discuss on it.
So are you comfortable to relocate to different city?
Yes, I am comfortable.